Now, I want to talk about two additional approaches to icon fonts, besides just standardizing on Font Awesome. Now, of course, we could use another icon font, and there's a lot of them out there. Font Awesome just comes with a lot of additional support rather than just the icons themselves, which is kind of nice. It's also an icon set that's recognizable because it's being used across so many different sites. Font Awesome was what the Bootstrap framework uses, and a huge number of sites out there use that. But there's two things that Font Awesome doesn't address very well. One is the fact that we may only need a subset of the icons in the Font Awesome font. If we jump back to our File Explorer to look at the size of the font files, let's take a look here. You can see that if we do a WOF2, which is the most modern version, like we're pulling in Chrome, it's going to be around 60 kilobytes. Now, this isn't huge, but it's not awesome either. And there may be many browsers that have to use alternatives, like a TrueType font, which would be 122 kilobytes, even bigger, or the original WOF file type, which is 72 kilobytes. Now, most of the time, this isn't going to be a problem, but wouldn't it be kind of cool if we could pick and choose just the icons we want to use for our site and reduce this file size a bit? The other question that comes into play with the solution I'm about to talk about is the idea of using icons from multiple fonts. So let's say there's several in Font Awesome that we like, but then there's two other icon fonts that include icons that we'd like to use. Well, the way things stand right now, we're going to have to download 3 different fonts in our browser. And as we'll talk about in the performance section of this series, every additional call to get a file from the remote server is going to slow down our website. So if we do have 3 different fonts, that's going to slow things down. And it's also going to mean we have even more fonts that we don't need to use. So the ideal would be to cherry pick the icons that we want to use from multiple different fonts and pull them into one font file that we can use. That way we have a minimal file size and we only have one font file to download from the server. Okay, so doing this is actually possible using an online service called Fontastic.